Okay, November 14th. We're out for a morning hunt this morning. Didn't really get into shooting position on the whitetail there with Natasha, so it's kind of miserable out again. We've been having some flurries, blizzard type snow, so we packed her in for now. Maybe we'll go out later this afternoon, I'm not too sure. But anyways, this has got to be done. 08 Ford Escape. This is a vehicle I drive to and from work. Just under 300,000, 299 something or other. So every 100,000 the plugs have to be changed. So the 3 in the front, this is the V6 version. 3 in the front are easy to get, it takes about 5 minutes. The 3 in the back are against the firewall, and you got to disassemble the top half of the motor to do so. So you got to take the airbox off, unplug the mass airflow sensor, take the EGR off. Throttle body, I think I leave on, but you have to take off the throttle cable, and it's either cruise control or choke. I can't remember. It's 2 cables. Pop this cover off, take them off, and then you pull the upper manifold intake, and then you got access to the back 3 with the motor sitting wide open. So some rocket scientist at Ford thought that'd be a good idea, because you only do this 3 or 4 times in the vehicle's life. So 3 or 4 times to knock debris straight into the engine. So anyways, we'll get started with it. These are the plugs I got. I think these are the plugs I got last time. They're iridium, so it's got the fine tip on it. Hopefully that focuses enough there. Yeah, see, it's just a pencil tip type tip on them now. The old tips weren't that big, but they were 1/8 or so. So there's the first one out, so that actually looks pretty good for a plug with 100,000 on it. It's about what they need to look like, light brown, no real tip deformation there, so pretty good looking for a clean running vehicle. And I'm not sure you can see that, but the first plug is in there, and then I'm not changing the coils. This vehicle's 300,000 kilometers on it, so it's nearing the end of its operational lifetime, and unless you're having misfires or other ignition related hard starting problems, I don't see the need in replacing the coil packs. These coils will typically crack along the top if they go faulty, so you can replace the individual coils, and it adds a couple $100 to changing the spark plugs. So again, the vehicle's not brand new, so it's gonna keep the same coil pack and just get the plugs. Plug number 2, again, nice light brown, no tip deformation. So probably won't show you every plug if they're gonna all be the same. Okay, so the front 3 are done there. And then I got the air compressor with a air gun there. Blow as much of the loose debris out of here as possible. So here's the throttle body cover removed. So these 2 cables hook into the throttle body. So you just have to pop them off. EGR valve, I'll just take these 2 off. And then I think you got to take the guy beside him off here, but it'll just come out. I loosen these hose clamps, undone the airbox, so I have to take this out, and then, like I said previous, pop that upper manifold off. Okay, there's the 2 cables removed from the throttle body, which is right there. So you just move this back and forth and work the cables out, and then unbolt it here and there, and then you can just literally flip this up out of the road and just hang it off to the side for the time being. So I should mention this is the 3rd time I've done this on this particular vehicle. I've done it every 100,000, so 100, 200, and then this is the 300,000. So at the back here, there's a big, I don't know if it's 30 pin, 40 pin electrical connector. I don't like to unplug these things unless you absolutely have to, because if you bust a pin or bend a pin pulling it apart or putting it in, you're going to be in a world of hurt. So I just pull it out by these support studs. They're just plastic studs, and pull it out of the bracket, and then when it comes to putting it back in, you just simply push them back in. And then there's this little hose over here You can probably leave it on, but I just unplug it so that it frees up a little bit of room there for the electrical connector and to tip this manifold when it's time to come out. So next we'll pop these hoses off the back, and we're just basically working ourselves around in a clockwise fashion, taking everything off the manifold. Okay, and then I just popped this hose off. So there's a little plastic tab here that kind of clicks, and that loosens it up. So you kind of just push it down lightly, and then push this plastic tab. It expands it, and then you can just pull up. EGR valve, I had to pull the insert out. So this one's pretty oily, so I assume the truck's starting to burn oil, which I kind of know it is from doing oil changes. Then you have to unbolt this electrical back here. That support bracket, same contraption here. There's a tab right there. Can't do it with one hand, but basically pull it towards you, push down on the tab, and then push back and it'll come off. That frees most of the stuff off the manifold. Then we'll split it right here, and I can't remember if I take the throttle body with it or not, or just pull it forward just enough to get to the plugs. I seem to think that I usually take it right out of here. Okay, the airbox piece is removed, and then here's inside the throttle body. And then if you activate what the cables do on the side, you can see it open up. So we'll just deal with the throttle body here. I think it's 4 bolts here. I should mention you can do most of this with basic tools. So it's 8 mil back there is a lot of it, 10 mil which is right here, flat blade screwdriver, just a small blade screwdriver for the electrical connection pins, pair of needle nose. I got the 3/8 ratchet here with an extension, but I don't actually have a socket on it, and then I'm using the 1/2" drive with a 5/8 spark plug socket. So okay, there's the throttle body removed. I don't undo every hose and connector on it. I'm sure if you wanted to take your time and do that, you could and pull it right out. Just lean it forward where the airbox part was. All you got to do, like you said, is free up this upper manifold. So I'll give it a careful blow down. I got most of the dust out of there prior, just blocking the intake off. And then we'll pull this off. And I usually lay a cloth across it, trying to minimize knocking anything into the engine. Okay, so unfortunately the compressor's running. So there's 8 millimeter that you take off. This is plastic manifold or ABS or some crap. Be very careful, especially when you're putting it back down. Don't torque them there's a torque spec, it's in inches. Do not torque them too tight, because you'll crack the manifold and then you have to get a new manifold. So anyways, I'll pop the manifold off. Okay, quick look. So yeah, like I said, you can see right into the engine here. This is a very stupid idea in my opinion. The rail is here for the injectors, and this is directly into the cylinders. There's the 3 spark plugs we're trying to get at. Well, these are the coil packs. I have to take them out and then extract the spark plug. So I'll just get a cloth and lay over that now. Okay, so I got some regs covering the 6 intakes. Again, this is the V6. So I'll start with that coil pack. Okay, there's all 6 plugs, fairly even across the board, both in wear on the tip and the color on the threaded part. No excessive oil. A little bit of carbon on a couple of them. No burnt back electrodes, nothing like that. No cracked ceramic inserts, nothing. So I think I said before they were NKG, but they're not. The ones I pulled out were the Bosch, and then the ones I put in were the NKG. So I'm not going to film putting it back together. It's basically the reversal of how it came apart. Carefully pull these regs out, reinstall the manifold that's just tipped out of the way, throttle body, ERG valve, mass air sensor, etc., various hoses, put the air box back together. So that's 10 minutes, and that concludes the '08 Ford Escape